everybody, and welcome to another episode of HPCritical, a podcast where my friends and I talk all things gaming. I'm your host, Jerel, and I am joined by Kellie.
Hi, everybody.
Brandon.
Yo ho, hello.
Gabe.
Salutations.
And one of my favorite people in the whole wide world, Wesley.
Howdy, howdy.
So
I'm very excited to be here.
I am excited to have you. So for anyone who has not listened to Wesley and Brandon and I talk about The Last of Us 2 for like 2 hours, and I talk mad shit about Ellie, you should totally do that in episode number, I don't know, where we have a review of The Last of Us 2, where I talk mad shit, and it was a wonderful conversation, and
great conversation.
Wesley's just so great and so knowledgeable and just so fucking awesome that I'm so happy that he's here with us. So thank you for coming, I messaged him and I was like, oh man, the guest for today isn't here. Can you come? And he was like, fuck yeah. And I was like, fuck yeah, because he's fucking awesome. So first, can you tell everybody a little bit about yourself?
Yes, so my name is Wesley. I am a video game writer. I'm mostly, actually pretty exclusively these days, write for IGN. I do their game news, movie news, lots of science news lately, and I write guides for them. I do some commerce stuff that no eyes will probably ever see because it's like super behind the scenes and weird. And occasionally I get to be on videos there, and that is what I do.
And there is a video on there for Pokemon that was his first
Yes.
IGN video ever, which was really awesome. I was like, that's my friend.
Yeah.
And he has this really cool article out today, which you should check out, about the eyeball that is also a surveillance camera, is it? Yeah? That
like a
follows you? A
actual
webcam that blinks and shit.
Yeah, it's gross. And it looks around,
It's
and
so
the
disgusting.
eye moves, and the skin moves, and it has an eyebrow that likes to be pet, and it is...
Yeah, it is as disgusting as it
good.
sounds.
Yeah, it's awful.
And I was like, but
I can look at it a lot.
you should totally check it out and check out all of his work at IGN because he's fucking awesome.
Appreciate that.
So also, if you like Dragon Ball Z,
Mm-hmm.
he has a podcast, Dragon Ball Speak,
Yes.
which is pretty popular. Oh,
I
yes,
think
please tell us about it.
We put it on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and stuff. We might be a little behind on that because we kind of focus on YouTube more. If you want to watch my best friend who loves Dragon Ball, it's his favorite thing ever. And me, who has never seen the show at all, go through 3 episodes a week. And we get to talk about what sucks and what doesn't suck. And we got you covered. Dragon Ball Speak. It's a pretty... Lately, I feel like we've been getting super rated R and raunchy for some reason. Lots of sexual tension.
Vegeta Dominate Cell was like, is this gonna stop anytime soon?
Yeah,
Jerel, real talk, we're gonna have to, when we get to episode 69 of our podcast, we're gonna have to step up our game to match up to what they did on the Vegeta Dominate Cell episode.
Yeah, so it's been a bit of a spoiler now. Brandon spoiled it, but tune in for episode 69 where we talk all things video game sex. It's gonna be fucking disgusting.
Oh, that sounds incredible.
We're actually doing that?
I'm just like, poor Kelly. Huh?
I would not allow us to not do it after we talked it up so much.
We talked it up so much. I'm so sorry. I apologize in advance, Kelly, for whatever is said on episode 69. The truth is, Kelly...
She's worse
You
than
know me
most
at
of
all.
us.
I was
I'll be
just gonna
worse than
say-
everyone.
I was just gonna say, she's gonna be the worst, actually. It's gonna be an awesome raunchy time. And the last thing that I am gonna promote for Wesley is the NPC podcast.
Yes, that is basically my video game podcast with 2 local friends here where I live. And it's really, I don't even know how to describe it because we kind of just
They
talk
talk about
about whatever we
Yeah.
want, really. And then sometimes we do talk about video games, and other times we'll talk for 30 minutes about dad butt rock, which no one wants to hear about. And then we might mention that like Sony's doing stupid stuff in the news and get right back to dad rock. But yeah, if you want to hear 3 people just, I mean, we mostly drink and then we record ourselves talking about video games. And if you want that in your life, NPC Tonight on basically every audio service, we got you covered.
Yeah, just listen to his beautiful voice all the time on all the things. You know, just go to
Yes.
IGN, read all his stuff, go to listen
Do
to
it.
him talk on
Yes.
Dragon Ball Speak, and then listen to him and his friends shoot the shit about video games. You will not regret it. Anyway, now we're going to talk about video games. So I didn't post this, but the first thing I want to ask you guys is, there was an article at comicbook.com, and it's titled GameStop Customers Divided Over Controversial PS5 and Xbox Series X Restock. So we're still having this issue where people can't get the Xbox Series X and the PS5, and GameStop is still doing their bundles, and like some people have just been like, Stop doing the bundles. Sell us the console on its own. Like, we don't want all this trash that you're including in this $800 bundle. It's almost double the price of the PS5 and Xbox Series X. And then other people are like, this is the only way I've been able to get one because fuck scalpers. It's what month is this? April? What month did these consoles come out? November?
Yeah, November.
Wow.
November 6. We're 6 months.
They're almost ready for the gestation period. So how do you guys feel about the GameStop still doing 6 months later, still doing bundles to sell the new consoles?
Bundles to sell the new consoles. Wow, it's crazy that's like the only way to still do that. Like 6 months in, like if I'm being honest, based on the way these consoles were selling out like really quick, even I didn't expect like 6 months to be like, you know, readily available necessarily, because some consoles have in the past have really struggled with that. But as bundled products, I mean, it's a little late for that. I don't know. I don't really have any like specific data to go off of that though. Like as far as the whole bundling thing, I'm like that's something I don't follow as closely as just how long consoles take to become readily available, I would say.
These bundles are like super expensive, right? Like
they're going into like $700-$800. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it sucks that that's the only way to buy them, and like I guess, you know, props to people that are buying them that way. But it is shitty that GameStop is capitalizing off of doing that. But then on the same note, this is GameStop's probably like last hurrah as far as selling consoles goes, so they're probably trying to get anything off of it. But it also sucks because like if a bundle has Miles Morales or something, and I feel like people that wanted to play that probably bought it on
already
PS4
have it, yeah,
or PS5, you know, and played it elsewhere. But yeah, not a good look GameStop.
I just feel like the scalpers aren't buying the bundles, so that you can actually get one, you might have to pay more. I mean, but
which means
you
you're
still
paying more anyway.
Yeah, I mean,
well, I mean, so there was a comment on this Twitter thread that basically was just like, you know, I haven't been able to get one. I was finally able to get one, and I'd rather pay, you know, $800 for a bundle of stuff, even if it's something that I already have, than pay $1,000 to a scalper for a single console, which I think is fair. But
it is fair.
Paying $800 for a PS5, like that. The problem with me, and I'm gonna go to Gabe next because I know he bought a bundle. But like the problem that I have with this is that like the bundle that I saw earlier, I didn't even look into it, but I saw like a PS5, and then I saw like an RTX graphics card, and I saw like controllers, and I was like, if I'm buying a PS5, I don't think I need to buy a fucking computer graphics card. And, you know, like Wesley said, Miles Morales is already out, right? Like, NBA 2K21 has been out. Like, a lot of the games in the bundle aren't exclusive enough to pay extra money for. You can probably find them on sale, so you'll end up paying more money anyway, and it's just like... If it were easier to buy one at like Best Buy or Target or something, you know, they are doing bundles, but they're still selling the consoles, you know, single-handedly. And of course, the problem is they still sell out immediately. Gabe, go ahead. I'm actually over this.
So I bought a PS5 bundle, and I bought one of the more expensive ones, which came out, I think it was like $750. First thing I'm going to say is the bundles save you money in terms of everything you get with it. Yeah, quote unquote, in terms of everything you get with it. Because you get the console, you get an extra controller, which that's $70 there. You get NBA 2K21, which is another $70 right there. You get Miles Morales, which is $60. I don't think that one received the $59.99 bullshit.
No, I'm pretty sure it's cheaper than that.
Yeah, it might be $50, right?
Yeah, if it's just Miles Morales, then that's a $50 value. If it was only $70 if you're getting the bundle that also included remastered.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then that's the one I got. So that's $70 then. And then they give you, you know, a $20 gift card for GameStop, which. Whatever.
Oh my god! Do you know what that is? Do you know what that is? Do you remember when we were talking about Blizzard and they gave out those $200 Blizz cards? Blizzard cards for everyone they laid off? That's what GameStop did. They were like, here's $20 to spend more money on us. You're welcome. That's such trash.
So in terms, the bundle is a lot cheaper with everything you get. But my thing is that if you could repeatedly, like, I don't like the fact that they keep selling bundles. Like, I think it's okay to do a wave with bundles, then, you know, the next wave or two, you know, without bundles, because you obviously have the systems. It's not like the game and the controller and all that comes packed inside the PS5 box. No, you get this big brown box, you have the PS5 box alone, and then you have, the game disc and the extra
Mm-hmm.
controller. I've worked at GameStop. I can tell you right now, they don't receive these units packed into one. So they physically have to make the bundle themselves. They have to pack it into a box. So there's no excuse for them not, doing, this wave will sell a bundle, then the next 2 waves will sell them separately. Because again, it's not like they receive everything together in one box. Everything is separate, and they have to physically put it together themselves. So, I mean, at this point, it's 2021. GameStop's been around for a while. We expect these shitty practices from them.
Honestly, that sounds
And it's like Wesley said, this might be their last hurrah in terms of, console sales. So you might as well go out with a bang and try and take as much money as you can before you go and hide yourself in an island.
That sounds perfect, bro. If I had extra shit in stock that I wanted to get rid of, I would just physically make a bunch of bundles and charge people extra and get rid of that stock. That sounds great. I would totally do that.
I would physically make my employees who are making minimum wage in whatever state they are make the bundle, and then I'd take all the money.
All right. Well, I see you got some issues with GameStop, so I'm gonna move on. Before you get into that,
the minute GameStop bought
okay.
EB Games, I had a problem with them. So no, I'm done. I just had to put that out there.
Well, talking about things that annoyed me to no end, I'm sure you guys have all heard that Sony Studios are supposedly working on a remake of The Last of Us, while Sony Bend begins working on a new game after an unsuccessful 2019 pitch for Days Gone 2. So, first of all, how do y'all feel about a remake for The Last of Us, the original?
It doesn't need to happen!
Yep.
Didn't they already remaster it?
Yes,
they
it's
remastered
available for free on PS5, PS Plus, remastered right now. You can just play it, or you can get it for $5, 15 at the most.
It's not a game at all. If you're getting the remaster on PS4 or PS5, whatever. Yeah, it doesn't need
Not
to happen.
only that, if you bought a fucking console, it most likely came with the game. This game was bundled with PlayStations, was it not? For a while.
Yeah.
So it's if you wanted to play it, you have had plenty of opportunities, including opportunities to play it for free at this point. Why, now that The Last of Us 2 is over, would I go back and replay The Last of Us? I guess to capitalize on the hype of a show. I don't know. Go ahead, Brandon.
To be what it is, but I just thought about this now. My mind entertained for a second. What if this is a reboot, kind of like Tomb Raider? But no, they clearly said remake. So this still has to be based on the story of Joel and Ellie from the first game, is my understanding of it. And especially if it's meant to tie in with the show, right? So I just really don't understand the point of it, because the remaster, it's not that that's that old in game, especially with the remaster edition, because of course that was a late gen PS3 game. It was like the swan song of the PS3, right? And then the remaster comes out for the PS4, and it still looks good. Obviously Last of Us 2 looks better because that was designed for PS4, but it's not like a night and day. It's not you're looking at an early gen PS3 game that looks basically like a PS2 game. It looks good. And especially with the remaster, and it has all the DLC included, it just seems like a waste of resources. It just seems too soon for this. A game, to me, has to be, I think, you can't miss something if it's not gone, is my thinking. And Last of Us has not been gone. So no one is asking for this right now. We just had The Last of Us Part 2. It just seems like a waste to me. Of course, if they're not going to stop making it, I guess we'll see how it is, and I'll probably end up getting it anyway if it looks good. But it just seems like a waste.
The only argument I could make for remaking this is that, a younger generation has not played the game. And that's not even a real argument, because they can literally just play it right now.
Right, that's exactly it. That's exactly it. And that game is readily available. You can't say that about a lot of old PlayStation games, but you can certainly say that about Last of Us.
I completely understand people not wanting to go back and play Final Fantasy VII because ew. And no offense to anyone who plays old games, but ew. And then now though, with remake, it's wow, now I can enjoy this the way it was meant to be. That's what 20 plus years of a video game being remastered or remade in a proper fashion, as opposed to, when did The Last of Us 2 come out? The Last of Us
2013.
2013, and the remaster only came out a year later.
Oh my god, it's younger than a lot of
because that's when the PS4 came out, right?
Right, yeah.
And then it was the free PS4 game too, I think.
It came with
For a
my
time it
bundle
was.
PS4. Like, I got GTA 5 and The Last of Us Remaster with my PS4.
Right. And again, if you own a PS5 now, Last of Us Remastered is
It's
one
free.
of the games on the PS Plus collection. You can get it free.
If you
So
have
people
PS5.
are not starving to play this first game. It's not people are not deprived of it.
Anybody else want to move in on that before I move on?
I never played it.
Kellie! Well, now you can play.
But she
You can
could!
now play.
No. Yeah.
Just wait.
I have the option.
Yeah, she can. They're not gonna, like, the PS5 has PS4 compatibility. Even if that PS Plus collection goes away, she can still get the game.
The
I mean,
best
she has
part
it.
About this
I have it.
is like,
Yeah, she has it. She owns it. She
PlayStation
can
is
do
just
whatever.
like, here are plenty of options to play this game, and Kylie's just like, no, I refuse. Like, I don't care. And they want her to play it so much that they're remaking it, and she's still like, no thanks.
I love the narrative that they're remaking this just for her.
They're making it just for her. And she's like, nah, fuck that.
Just for her, and she's still not
Does
gonna play.
care. So this
Like she said, Kelly says on a podcast, I'm still not gonna play it. Then Sky Dog's like, son of a bitch!
Sean Layden is rolling in his grave right now.
He's not dead!
He's no longer. You're right. He's not dead. I'm so sorry. He's not dead.
Oh my
He's not
God.
dead. I didn't say that right, so I'm just gonna pretend like I didn't say it at all. And then now no one will ever have heard me say. Brandon, you could have just let me roll with it, bro. You have to call me out in front of my friends. You called me out in front of my friends. Oh my god.
Hey, that's what I do. If Gabe's not gonna do it, sometimes I have to.
Anyway, so
We have to keep your lies in check, Jerel.
Clearly, it's really embarrassing. Y'all always call me out. Stop it. Let me be wrong on camera.
Oh man.
So Jason Schreier has an article at Bloomberg titled "Sony's obsession with blockbusters is stirring unrest within the PlayStation empire. A small team had big ambitions for Last of Us remake, but Sony handed the work to star studio Naughty Dog." And basically, he goes on to talk about how they wanted to do a remake at the time, and the studio that wanted to do the remake no longer exists. And this goes along with people saying that I'll read this tweet by Lance McDonald that says 6 years ago Sean Layden delivered this mostly forgotten speech for PlayStation at E3, which for some reason it really stuck with me as a thing that makes PlayStation so appealing. The CEO saying it wasn't a multi-million-dollar seller, but that wasn't the point at the time was nice. And so obviously Sean Layden was talking about PlayStation and working with indie titles and how they supported indie titles. And basically everyone's been talking about how Jim Ryan, who's now obviously in leadership at Sony, has been going in the opposite direction by doing things like making a remake and getting rid of smaller studios and doing things like allowing the PlayStation, the PS3, PSP, and PS Vita stores to be shut down. And people have been saying that this is a very different direction than what Sean Layden did and what they would like from PlayStation. Do you guys see this as a future for PlayStation, like moving forward and solely moving forward with big emotional titles? Are you afraid that they're moving too far away from indies? Do you actually care at all what PlayStation's doing? How y'all feel about that?
I
Yeah.
think that the...
Go ahead, Wesley, you first.
Sorry. I mean, when the big blockbuster games come out, they're going to sell a shit ton of copies and everyone's going to be like, oh my god, Sony, you're awesome. But like, the PR, like just the company cred alone is just tanking. And then when you've got Xbox doing everything right in terms of messaging and PR, it's like, I don't know why they're shooting themselves in the foot. Like, just stop, Sony. Like, you're good. Like, you're fine. People like your console. People like your games. Like, just stay quiet. Put out Ratchet and Clank and Returnal and let them be good and like chill. But alas, they're not. And then now we've got this insider stuff happening with, or not insider, but Jason Schreier's getting the inside report, and just only gets worse.
It's almost the opposite of Xbox. Like when Xbox came out and everybody was like, you guys are doing this shit totally wrong, and they switched over to PlayStation, and now everyone's like, Xbox is doing the right thing, PlayStation, why are you guys doing this wrong? And it sucks to see because people are still buying PlayStations. Like, we're still invested. I just turned my PS5 on to play Saga Frontier, which I'm upset that it wasn't purchased for me on Switch because I wanted to play it on Switch. But that's what happens when you get free games. You just accept them. It's just like so never mind. Go ahead, someone else.
Okay, yeah. So in regards to this whole thing, I'm of the mind that it's kind of a little short-sighted, honestly, because if there's two ways to look at it. With the whole notion of them only going to like AAA titles, if you get like sequels to like big games or even I don't know, remasters, that's one way to look at it. Like if it's a lot of new IPs or sequels to existing games, that's one thing. But we're talking about this in the same breath as just mentioning that a game that only came out like 6 years ago is getting a remake, and that's when you're like, well, how often is that going to happen? If a game is that successful, is that what's going to keep happening? Are you like? It's hard not to think that if they weren't making a Last of Us remake, then something new and fresh could have been happening instead. And I can't really argue with that point because, I mean, people have to work on these games. If they're working on this, they're not going to be working on that, you know? But even going away from like their big AAA games, I've always been of the opinion that a game doesn't need to have so much money sunk into it for it to be a quality game. And there's some of people's favorite games of all times are not these big AAA blockbusters. Hell, they'll look at something like Last of Us or Days Gone or God of War. They'll see all these like AAA, and that intimidates them because it's just not what they're used to. I think even in the PlayStation ecosystem, there was an audience for games that, you know, didn't look like so hyper realistic or for lack of better terms, expensive looking. They just like those cute little charming games that they can sink their teeth into. I think pretty much all of us are excited for Kena Bridge of Spirits. That's a very different looking game. And I would hate to think that if a game like that, didn't exist just because it wasn't quite the demographic that PlayStation seems to be angling toward. Now that also looks like it's going to be an expensive looking game. Don't get me wrong. But I mean, you see where I'm coming from. Like, it's just like, I'm worried that only worrying about the big number titles, the ones that they're going to put all this money into, it's just not for everyone. It's excluding a big audience, I feel.
This could very easily just be a situation in which they're just like, we don't need that stuff. Or they think they don't need it, and so they kind of are just pushing it to the side. Brandon, I think you just muted yourself. Yeah, I can't hear anything.
Yeah, I did mute myself. Okay. But yeah, no, you're right. They think they don't need it, is what I was saying.
I think it's just like, oh, we don't need these indie games. We've got Final Fantasy VII Intergrade coming in a few months. Everybody's going to buy that, and they are not wrong. We've got all these. We've got, the next God of War coming. People are going to buy that. People are still trying to buy PlayStations. We've got Bugsnax. We've got Demon Souls. We've got Spider-Man Miles Morales. We've got the Spider-Man coming to Avengers for anyone who still plays Marvel Avengers. We've got I don't know, a bunch of shit. Like, we have, and so it's not like they're hurting for stuff. So I feel like when you have stuff and people are buying that big stuff, and even when you have smaller stuff like Bugsnax that people are still, Oddworld Soulstorm, right there on PS Plus, another one that's available for us to play immediately. The fucking car one, Destruction All Stars.
Destruction All Stars, yeah.
That's not a big game. It's not a big studio, but it's there. So they're like, hey, we're moving forward. There's no need to go back and do all this stuff. You guys don't need to go play your PS3s. Turn that shit off. You don't have to play a Vita, even though it's amazing and you totally should. Turn that shit off. We don't need this bullshit. Fuck indies. And, I don't agree with it, but I can understand it from a business standpoint. Like, totally. If my business is to move forward and I don't want to be, bogged down by this stuff, and I know that people come to PlayStation for exclusives, because how many times do we say that if you want to play exclusives, you gotta get a PlayStation, right? Like, everybody used to say that, because if you want to play multiplayer or something else, you play on Xbox, but if you want the big exclusives, you gotta get a PlayStation. And if you want, obviously, Nintendo's separate, but you go for Nintendo and PlayStation for the exclusives, and then you go for Xbox for everything else. Like, that has been a thing for a while, so why not capitalize on just having big exclusives? Not that I agree, I'm just saying I understand that point of view.
It's also the recent news with, them closing Japan Studio, which also had a lot of unique games in that repertoire as well. I don't think a lot of those games were also multi-million sellers, but I would also say that a lot of those games weren't even designed to necessarily be multi-million sellers. And that's the thing, like, if a game that you put like millions of dollars into makes millions of dollars, then great. But if you put like maybe $1 million or $2 million to a game and it makes just a little bit over 500,000, yeah, it doesn't even break even, and then just be like, I mean, if a game is a failure, it's a failure. That's what it is. But a game can be a success without making the same money as a AAA is what I'm trying to get at with this.
I mean, look at Neo, The World Ends With You. Did the original even sell enough to make a sequel? Like, legitimately? I don't know.
No.
But I'm
No, it
okay,
did
I
not.
was like, I'm pretty sure
The
it's like a
DS
cult
the
classic
DS
that
game
did not
the DS game always had a
make that
cult
much.
following.
Yeah.
But it was never like a big sales thing. People that love that game have to beg people to try out the game. The mobile game came out. It did a little better than the DS one, but it wasn't that much successful either. The Switch version came out. That did better than the mobile one. No, like, it's only cumulatively with the sales of all these different versions. All their attempts is why Neo the Ends with You, or World Ends With You is finally happening. And even then, they know a lot of people haven't played the game, so like, fuck it, anime, watch it, play our game later, see a sequel. So you don't have to play the game, just watch it and then you can play the sequel. So it happened. Yeah.
Kellie and Gabe, do you guys care before I move on? Kellie's like, I don't give a fuck about PlayStation.
I think everyone needs to calm down.
Oh,
I don't agree
fuck
with.
You calm down.
That's what I'm talking about. I don't necessarily agree with, like, casting the smaller games aside, but like, it's weird going on social media and seeing all these article titles like Sony needs to fix themselves, Sony needs to do this. I don't know at what point it became that a gaming company has to follow whatever you want. And I mean, at some point, you're successful. You had a great new generation console launch. You're not struggling to make people buy your stuff or to bring in new people as people are buying it. You're not like Xbox. You have exclusives on your system. And I didn't say that just to jab at Xbox. It's generally a point. And I mean, Nintendo focused on themselves for a couple of years. They eventually branched out, but who says Sony can't do the same thing for a little bit? I mean, I think people need to take a chill pill, bro. Like, let all gaming companies don't have to have the same identity. If Sony wants to turn into I'm the big bad exclusive guy now, then let them do it. Like,
so what do you say?
It sucks for like, it sucks for like, the smaller game companies that obviously want to put their titles out on a PlayStation and whatnot. But I mean, Xbox has been doing a good job of delivering everything through Game Pass through Game Pass. Nintendo now is, they're open to putting third-party games on their Switch. So
you just had the Indie World. So
I don't necessarily see like why everyone's so pitchforks and torches against Sony right now for just deciding to quote unquote focus on themselves.
So, one, that sounds super fucking elitist. So ill. But two, it's kind of like, okay, so do you know how Apple and Epic have that stupid Fortnite lawsuit going on?
Fortnite.
Yeah.
To me, it reminds me of that because it's very much like if you make a mobile game, Apple basically owns the fucking like mobile market, right? Like they are 95% of the mobile market. If you want people to play your game, if you want your game to be successful, if you want to make money off your game, you put it on the Apple fucking store. Like that's just what you do because that's where you're going to reach millions of people. You're not going to get the same audience for that. So I think, and obviously I can't talk for everyone, but for me specifically, let's talk about the PS5, right? We all know it's outsold the Xbox. Like, just as a fact, the PS5 has outsold the Xbox. That means more people have their hands on a PlayStation console than an Xbox right now. If I'm developing a game, I would really like to get my game to the most people that I can. And if I go to Sony and they're like, sorry, we're not doing little baby shit games, go find someone else. Like, maybe Nintendo, they've got an Indie World Showcase, they'll give you 5 minutes to talk about your shit. We are only looking at, big exclusives, sorry. That is what I mean when I say it sounds very elitist. That, I think, is what people are looking at as, like, something that they don't want to see going forward in the future. Because, like Brandon said, there are some really great indie gems. Like, I don't know how indie Danganronpa is, but, like, I love that series, having played through it finally. If I'm not gonna get a new one on the PlayStation because PlayStation's like, it's not big enough, am I gonna then migrate to like Switch if they put it on the Switch? Are you losing a fan of PlayStation because I like indie titles as that go along with my big titles? Does that mean that my PlayStation just becomes a God of War machine until the next God of War comes out? Did I just pay $500 for a God of War machine? I'm not with that, and I think that people are allowed to get upset at that. I do think it might be premature. I agree that
image
it might
is
be premature.
flickering. Image is flickering.
Oh, that's because my internet's trash.
Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can.
We can hear you just fine.
Rant ended. I'm actually done.
Cool.
Kellie,
I said what I said. I'm not going to change anything.
You don't have to. I'm just. I don't disagree with you. I just think that there's a reason that people are being the way that they are.
And I get that. And my thing is, I don't get why people are being like that because, again, there is nowhere where it said that a company has to follow, these certain rules and be like everybody else.
You're right. That's why people get so mad when, Nintendo doesn't give you anniversary ship for Zelda. They don't have to follow
Bro, because Nintendo sucks, man.
They don't give a fuck about you. They don't have to follow
Over here
your
giving
anniversary
fucking
rules.
Kirby a 3-year anniversary post to a fucking spin-off game.
And nothing about Zelda, because guess what? They don't
Even though it's one of
follow
its
your
most
rules,
successful
Gabe.
fucking franchises.
They don't gotta follow your rules, bro.
Yeah, they do.
No, they don't.
Kirby
You
is
literally
cute.
just... Okay.
Kirby is what?
Okay.
Yes, they do, bro. You don't understand. Zelda is love. Zelda
Okay.
is life. Not
I think that was
Kirby.
Shrek.
Oh, wait, hold on. Before we move, now that you mentioned that, Brandon, did you see they put Shrek on Netflix, I think in the UK. And they put
I have heard about that.
their Facebook post was Shrek is love, Shrek is life.
Oh, fuck me.
We all
No.
know where that comes from, and that video is really weird.
I'm sorry,
The
where does that come from?
It's a really weird video that I implore you to look up when we're done here. It is unnerving.
I gotta be honest, I haven't even seen this video describing. It's just everyone quotes it, so I just know it by osmosis. So
I'm very curious now. Yeah.
I want to look it up, but I also don't want to look it up.
The comment section for that post was just... I'm surprised they didn't
I
take down the
don't want to
post.
read it. I don't even want to talk about this comment post for a Shrek thing. Honestly.
Well, then let's keep
I
talking
love
about...
Shrek, but the Shrek fans are weird.
Let's keep talking about indie games.
Oh no, I found it, and it is.
Oh no! Oh no! So, the indie game showcase just happened.
Yes.
From Nintendo. I'm not gonna go over it, but there was something that totally caught Brandon and I's eye, which is, I will start this by saying I think it is very important that when you have developers, indie developers from different places around the world, it is very important to allow them to be, not only to be themselves, but to also speak in their own language. It really it does make an impact for who we are as a people, because language is a part of our culture. And I thought it was so amazing to not force people to go out of their way to try to speak in English for you as a viewer. Like, the indie showcase allowing people to be who they are and represent that part of their culture, whether their game is about that or not, was just pretty fucking great. And that's the best thing I have to say about the indie showcase.
Yeah, honestly, I agree. Like, that is 100% what caught my eye. It's just like almost every other game being shown at the indie world was just like from a different nation. Not even just like the raised language, just like a nation. Like the Longing, that game where you have to go 400 days, that's made by a German developer. The first game, Road 96, which I'm very personally interested in. I believe the developers from Italy. Getsu Fumaden, which is based on a Konami project. Obviously, that's a Japanese title. Yeah, there was just so much on the
fucking
Aztec
from Mexico. That was amazing.
That was great. I have
to play this.
And Skull, the Heroes player from South Korea. Yeah, there was just so much. I was just very happy with everything that was shown. Like, I said it on a Twitter post. Like, I wasn't necessarily into every single game that was being shown, but I just was in love with just the variety being shown. Not in just in terms of like the diversity, but also the gameplay being shown. Like, we weren't just getting a whole bunch of like retro platformers, which have sometimes been in indie directs, where I'm just like, okay, I mean, if you love retro platformers, this is fine, but I'm not really. But no, we were seeing like runners, we were seeing life sim games, we were seeing strategy games, we were seeing like all kinds of stuff. That game that's called This Is Not a Game was literally like a game comprising of multiple different game genres. I just adore this stuff. But yeah, the last thing I'll say about it is Road 96, Ninja Turtles, and Getsu Fumaden are the three I'm most interested in out of that presentation, personally.
Anybody else have any? Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Little Oxenfree 2 at the end. really big fan of the first Oxenfree.
I need to talk to someone that really knows about that first game because I've heard it's really good, but I don't know anything about it.
I've only heard good things.
It's kind of like I would compare it to like Stranger Things if I had to compare it to one single thing. It's got the same vibe, like teenagers getting into stuff they're not supposed to be. There's some like crazy stuff going on, and so if that's not your jam, then you won't like Oxenfree. It's
what do you mean by teenagers getting into stuff they're not supposed to be getting into?
Oh, like in Stranger Things, they get into like the
like
upside down.
Okay.
So, not anything like weird.
Not like Shrek
what are
stuff.
they doing? Like,
like Stranger stuff.
Like, are they killing people? Like, what's going on?
No, it's Stranger Things, not Danganronpa, Jerel.
I don't know. I've seen teens kill each other multiple games. Like, I've seen them murder each other in random ways. I gotta make sure.
That's true. There are some games that have teenagers just off each other. This, it happens.
So was there anything else that stood out to you guys during the indie showcase?
Is it always how long have they been doing the Indie World showcase? When did they? Because they switched from Nindies to Indie World. Right?
Yeah, I think I want to say that was around the start of the Nintendo Switch era. Like Nindies were definitely what they were calling it during the Wii U era, for its entirety, and I think a little bit when the Switch was starting, actually. But yeah, no, they switched it to Indie World, which especially after this presentation where it really was highlighting people from around the world. Because I gotta be honest, I really did prefer the Nindies thing because I thought it was just like this little punny kind of name. but Indie World, no, it's a much better representation of what indies are now and what they should be, which is game developers literally coming from anywhere to release their products. I like it.
Like, look at that and then just imagine them playing that video to the heads of PlayStation, and they're just like, we don't want this. Move along. We're not interested in any of this bullshit.
It is pretty funny that this Indie World just happened to drop around the time that Sony is getting all their heat for this too. It's like I'm sure Nintendo was going to announce this whenever they were going to announce this. Like this had nothing to do with Sony doing their thing, nothing at all. Mm-hmm. But it really does feel like a little bit of a mic drop. Like Sony's like triple A, and Nintendo's like indies.
Oh my god!
That's all they had to say.
Oh my god. So Mass Effect Legendary Edition has gone gold, so we're gonna, be happy about that. Have any of you played Mass Effect?
I sure haven't, but I'm excited to finally do so. It's been a game that's been on my radar forever.
Have not?
Haven't.
Okay.
I'm excited to finally try it though.
I played 2 because you couldn't get it on PlayStation. The first one you couldn't get on PlayStation 3 for a while, or maybe the entire generation. Did it ever come over to PlayStation?
There was a trilogy that eventually finally brought it to PS3.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, Mass Effect is weird because like the first game was PC 360, second one PC 360 PS3, Mass Effect 3 PC PS3 360 Wii U. Yeah. That Wii U port of Mass Effect 3 was wild. What they did was actually pretty interesting. They said, like, because of course that's a very story-driven series, and your decision from the first 2 games leads into like the third one. So what they did for the Wii U version is when you're booting that game up, they made like a graphic novel section that basically summarized the events, but you get to decide what happens in certain parts of the graphic novel to help shape the story of Mass Effect 3. That was their way of catching people up. Also, it didn't help because that version didn't sell at all because Wii U, but I think it was a neat idea to catch people up without actually porting the games.
If ever you have a question of what game is on Wii U, ask Brandon. 100% he knows. He knows the entire Wii U catalog. I've never...
I probably do.
Not
it's very small.
Dang, Kellie, let it happen!
It took me 5 minutes to research all of it.
Realistically, it's impressive, but like... I would say it's a fairly small catalog. So
yeah, compared to everything else in Nintendo, except maybe the Virtual Boy, which I watched a video on today, and that was interesting. I now know every Virtual Boy game that ever released, so ask AMA, I guess.
Yeah, so that's coming out. I plan on playing it for the first time as well. We're gonna see what this Mass Effect thing's all about, because people who love it apparently really fucking love it. So
they do. I'm excited to check it out, because I love BioWare, original BioWare games.
I don't care. No, I'm just kidding. I was joking.
No, he's not.
No, I was literally joking. I'm excited for Mass Effect. I'm excited to have alien sex. What? Is that?
Sorry, I'm talking to the viewers.
whatever. All I know is that you have alien sex, and there's like 2 black people in the whole series. So
Yeah.
it's just like I was like, so how many black people are in this game? And everybody's like, and I was like, you went.
I'm the
all
wrong
way to
person to ask.
fucking
I haven't
space,
played yet, but
bruh,
yeah.
and y'all couldn't bring but like 1 black guy, and there's only 1 black guy out there. Like, what's going on? But hey, they never mind. They didn't change shit. Actually, I don't know because I haven't played, so I wouldn't even know if they changed anything. I'm just excited to see black people and who I can romance, and those options are also probably limited. Okay. Anyway,
Trying to remember if they're limited or not. Like, I think you get 1 per playthrough, so.
Dang.
Very
Okay,
limited.
so is it one of those, like, if I play as female shepherd, there's, like, only 1 lady I can romance? Or is there, like, a plethora of...
Oh, no, it's like... Yeah, you get, like, 2 options, I think, based on...
What about male shep? How many dicks can male shep suck?
I think there is actually 1 that he can, yeah, if I'm not mistaken.
1 dick, Jerel!
I think,
A single dick!
if I'm not mistaken, one of the 2 black people in the entire Mass Effect universe is one of the romanceable characters
It's
for
me!
male
They
shep.
made me, and I didn't even play the game. Now I gotta go. Now I have to
There
play
you go.
the game to find myself. And Mass Effect. They should totally pay me for my likeness. So
No.
anyway.
Check!
David Jaff, is that how you say his last name?
Jeffy, I think.
God of War and Twisted Metal developer, said that Sony has apparently told him about some counterpunch that they have for Game Pass. Any idea what that could be? Anybody? Any idea what that might be?
Something tells me they're going to integrate PS Now with PS Plus and think it works.
Ugh, that would be awful.
Oh.
Yeah.
What
Like,
a dark future you have.
As soon as I read counterpunch to Game Pass, I was like, don't do it. Don't you dare. Like, whatever you're going to do, just don't do it. It's not going to work. I'm going to tell you right now.
Oh.
I don't know. There's this, cause I don't know. I feel like PlayStation's really been pushing the PS Now a little bit more than they have in the past.
Yeah.
I don't know why. So, like, I feel like, yeah, this is our...
Marvel's Avengers.
Yeah, that's, really going to bring people over.
PS4 version only, too. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, so, that's what I think it's going to be. Let's hope they come out and surprise us with something way better than that.
I think that David Jaffe's just like talking out his ass. He hasn't been with PlayStation since like 2008. Like, who does he know that's still talking to him, giving him like the lowdown?
But they have been hinting at this for a while now. Like, he's not the only person that said something about it.
Yeah, for sure. I just feel like him is like, I feel like he might just be cashing on all the rumors everyone's talking about. I just do not believe that this guy's got some insider info. Because obviously a decision like that's probably way at the top. He's like talking to Jim.
What are you talking about, Wesley? He clearly has an uncle that works at Sony.
Yeah, he knows more than all of us.
He's like banging at the front door. I worked here 13 years ago. I'm here.
When you said bang, I thought you were going to go a different direction with that.
I'm not
like banging a secretary to get this information.
Oh, that's the direction. I don't know why this episode's been so sexual. Like, I don't know what's going. It's not.
We're just dying with anticipation for episode 69.
We're waiting for it to happen.
68.8 HD.
So let's talk about some beautiful women in movies now, which includes Lucy Liu and Janina Gavankar, because she has been casted in the Borderlands movie as a brand new character, Commander Knox. And Lucy Liu is going to be playing alongside Helen Mirren in Shazam 2 as Calypso. So I know zero about Shazam. Did not watch it.
Was a good movie.
I know a lot about Borderlands. I loved it. I love Janina Gavankar, and I'm super excited to have her on.
She's great.
But the reason I brought this up is because this cast just keeps getting more and more interesting. I've already talked mad shit about how much I hate Kevin Hart, so I will not do that again. I just think he's a trash pick. I think he's not funny, and I'm doing it again, so I'll stop. But the rest of that cast, I don't know what the fuck this movie is gonna do. The only person that I think has been a good casting has been Jack Black as Claptrap. Everyone else, I don't know what the fuck is going on. Wesley, did you play Borderlands? I know Kellie has.
I've played 1 and 2. I've not played 3.
Did you like 1 and 2?
I liked 1 more than 2, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I did. And 2 did a lot of things better, like gameplay wise, but I don't know, the original, I think I played it that way.
He was literally the best villain ever made ever.
Yeah, Handsome Jack. He's okay. I know why people love him, but like I don't know. I was just like, okay, he's charismatic and an asshole. Cool.
No, he was kind of trash.
One of the movies is just. I feel like we're going to be hearing casting news for the next 10 years of our lives, and the movie's just never going to come out.
Like, you're not wrong. You are wrong.
Like, we have not seen anything. We don't really know the story at all. I mean, I'm sure it's going to be like the games, but and they're just every week they're like, here's a very big celebrity that we have now put in a movie.
Video game movie casting news is on the level of Metroid Prime 4 news being just we hired this position to work on the game. Yeah.
I think it's interesting that they're adding new characters. I kind of want to see the movie, but I also kind of don't. Like, I just want to see the movie to see what the fuck they're doing. But I also am just like, this could be another, notch in the disaster video game movie. Huh?
Monster Hunter?
Oh, I didn't see Monster Hunter, so I can't talk shit about it.
Yeah, so Monster Hunter, like... Yeah.
Brandon, go ahead.
No. All I was going to say is, like, Monster Hunter, like... I was going to say, before Monster Hunter, we were actually on the up and up for video game movies. They were actually turning out pretty well.
Yeah.
Detective Pikachu was really
Warcraft
good.
It's the best video game movie ever made, and no one can ever tell me otherwise. I'm sorry, the
I
Warcraft
enjoyed
movie.
Warcraft.
It is the best video game movie ever fucking made. Go watch it!
Yes.
I'll watch it now.
Oh my god, it's so good. You haven't watched it?
Mm-mm.
I will send you a copy.
I will, though. I will watch it. I'm sure it's on one of the 10 streaming services I unfortunately have.
But it is like, I love that movie so much. Have you played Warcraft before? Doesn't matter. Watch it anyway. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my god.
I can tell you that I enjoyed Warcraft.
Wait,
and I haven't played...
watched it? He didn't answer. Wait, have you watched it?
Oh, I played Warcraft 2 maybe on a friend's computer a long time ago. I enjoyed it.
Good enough for me.
Couldn't remember anything about it. I told you.
That's why you watched the movie. Sorry, Brandon, go ahead.
No, all I was going to say was, like, as someone who hasn't played Warcraft or World of Warcraft, I enjoyed the Warcraft movie. So, if that means anything.
Fun. It was great.
It was good. It
Best
was good.
video game movie ever made, followed by Detective Pikachu. Followed by that one by Steven Spielberg that I can't remember the name of. Based on the book.
Are you... Oh, Ready Player One?
Yep.
Ready Player One is like one of my favorite movies.
I enjoy Ready Player One.
And I would consider Scott Pilgrim a video game movie, and that's like one of my... That's probably my favorite video game movie.
I would agree with you if I ever watched it, but I haven't.
I know, and we talk about it all the time, and I hate it every time you say it.
You know what? When Wesley watches the Warcraft movie, I will watch...
I'll make it happen.
Scott Pilgrim. I'll make it happen.
I haven't seen Warcraft either.
Live tweet at him, Wesley, when you do, so he can.
Bruh, no, because now Kellie has to watch it too.
I'll watch it.
We're gonna have.
We're sure to make packs here.
Podcast.
Okay, cool. I'm down.
I wanted to do a World of Warcraft podcast, but I
we totally can, but you quit.
I stopped playing. Wow. I mean, I'll start again. I don't care.
I love the commitment. I don't give a fuck. I'll play right now. Okay, let's go.
I was thinking about literally, I'm pretty sure my sub expired today, so I was thinking about reactivating just because I want to play after the podcast.
Don't do it, because you're gonna start it up and then you're gonna turn it off. It's okay though. I do the same thing. I did that with World of Warcraft, and I also did that with Final Fantasy XIV. I would really like to play it, and as soon as I turn it on, I see my quest list, and I'm like, who is gonna do any of this?
Oh,
and then I turn it on. Me? I don't think so. Like, is there someone I can hire? And then I was thinking about hiring someone to just, like, speed through, or, like, paying for a story skip or some shit. Gabe, no. You have too much stuff to do now.
I don't.
Yes, you do.
I mean, yeah, I do.
You literally have too much to do right now. How you gonna volunteer to play something else for me and you won't even play games with me because you're too busy? Now I know that you just don't want to play with me. Like, that's the truth.
I can't believe we haven't even played Outriders again.
I know.
Hold on. No, the reason I don't invite you to play anything is because every time I see someone invite you to play something, you ghost the shit out of people.
It was like 3 times, okay?
It was 4!
It was like... Each time I was very busy.
One too many times. Too many times.
That Monster Hunter one with Grayson is still fresh.
That one was that. If I was Grayson, I would have left the chat, blocked you on Twitter, and never talked to you again. That was so rude.
Okay.
That one was
rude.
So, that one was rough. That one was rough.
I'm going to take 2 seconds to explain myself. Never mind.
Wow, we're gonna have to, so Jerel, you're gonna have to edit out your explanation. Oh my God. And just take it.
It's a win-win for me.
No way, guys, stop it! Alright, so, apparently, over at GameStop, there's an article that says Sony invests $200 million more into Epic Games to help create the metaverse. What the fuck is this? Did you guys see that?
Looking cool, Joker!
Yeah, what is the metaverse? They were like, we're helping, and they don't say what it is. I want to know.
They raised a total of $1 billion more from Sony and others to help create a metaverse. It says Epic Games, the developer, Fortnite, owner of the Unreal Engine, and operator of the Epic Games Store, has announced it has raised $1 billion more in funding. This includes $200 million more from Sony Group Corporation, adding onto the already $250 million it invested into the company back in 2020. In a statement, Epic said it's using the additional $1 billion in funding to support the future growth, opportunities and help the company create the so-called metaverse. With the new round of funding, Epic said its equity valuation now stands at $28.7 billion. Like, what the fuck? For Sony specifically, Epic said the new funding of $200 million reinforces their shared mission to advance the state of the art in technology, entertainment, and socially connected online services. And of course, this came with the information that Aloy is coming to Fortnite, because, I mean, when I pay $200 million, you're putting every fucking exclusive fucking title game person in, like, the universe that I own in your shit. Because I just gave you a lot of money. Like, so, you're doing it. Yeah, who knows what the metaverse is? I just know that Epic Games is, and I'm about to talk shit about them, even though I enjoy Fortnite. Epic Games, you know, had this whole thing about, oh, Apple can't be the monopoly of mobile games. This is totally unfair. And now here they are with $200 billion and moving along in the Epic Store. So I feel like they have absolutely nothing to complain about. And that was off topic, but I still have my iPhone, so I'm still a hater.
Sony can't afford indies because it's funding the metaverse.
They're giving all the money to fund the metaverse. That's why they can't afford indies. And Gabe likes that because he says
fuck yeah
direction. See, he's like
big name games.
Form
Go Sony. Oh yeah. All I'm saying is if Fall Guys isn't in the metaverse after Mediatonic joined Epic Games, I'm gonna be pissed. I don't understand what the metaverse is. When they said metaverse, they're just like, yeah, we're gonna throw this word out and
which
good
they
luck figuring
can't
it
do
out.
because Persona 5 owns that word. Stop it.
That's literally all I've been thinking this entire discussion.
Oh yeah, well, but like something tells me obviously the metaverse is more if it's like an actual like thing. I don't know how else to say it. Like it's gonna take place in Fortnite because Fortnite has been doing all that time warp, black hole, loopy loop shit. Like I'm telling you, if I don't jump. It's really cool, but, you know, I don't play that game enough to talk more about it. But, like, all I'm saying is if I go into a game and I decide to drop off the battle bus and I don't see, like, a giant jelly bean from Fall Guys, like, running towards me, screaming, I'm going to be pissed. I'm just going to say that all that money, a waste for no reason.
Oh, my God. I'm just imagining the jelly beans from Fall Guys just shooting guns now.
They have just
hilarious.
Become the fucking, thingies from that game. You know the game, the thingies with the game Among Us. They just then are just the things from Among Us. Like, they're just like
I guess like, so.
What a way to describe it, man.
The thingies, the thingies. You know, like you actually thought we were gonna understand.
I really did because look, if the Fall Guys have guns, the only thing that looks like Fall Guys with guns are the little Among Us bean things. Like, come on, that's the only thing you can equate. Like that's
only thing. That's it.
Like, what else would it be? Come on. I'm not that bad. No, I'm.
I don't know. Like, kind of like.
They were like,
threw me off. And
then they.
I'm just imagining the Fall Guys beans when they're making their noises when they shoot. They're like,
yeah, that's why I want them in the metaverse. If the metaverse takes place in Fortnite, I want Fall Guys with their voices.
Unfortunately for Gabe, PlayStation gets to do what they want. They don't have to follow you. So. Your words.
No, that's where you're wrong again.
You literally.
That's where you're wrong again.
Right.
Look, Nintendo and Sony have to go by what I say. They don't have to listen to anybody else, but what I say. That's how it goes.
I almost forgot.
I'm not getting my Zelda universe, my anniversary tweet, Nintendo's wrong. If I don't get Fall Guys and Fortnite battling the Among Us dudes, in the middle of this big galactic war, Sony's wrong.
I completely agree with you. You spent $800 on them, bro. That's the least they can do. The least they can do is put their developers
Actually,
to work.
you know what? I spent $808 because remember, I bought the Battle Pass for Fortnite.
Look at that. And you bought that stupid ass God of War outfit.
You want to know? It was the Mandalorian one.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You want to know how many quests I did of the Mandalorian to get my skin upgraded?
You had to pay for it, and then you had to do quests too?
No, you get the original costume, but then like you get the quest for it to like upgrade it to the shiny costume. Yeah, I did like 2 of those, and then I haven't played that game in
exactly.
Wait, Gabe, I have a question. So when you buy the Mandalorian armor, is it like how it looked in like the beginning of season 1, and then you upgrade to the Beskar armor? Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense.
I love that.
That's how it was in the show.
What you guys are talking about.
Hey, don't worry
Kellie
about
and Wesley, question for you guys: have you ever spent money on a video game solely for cosmetic purposes?
Yes.
Oh yeah, a lot of money goes into Overwatch. Not anymore because I've cut myself off from that game.
You're lying.
So
that was bad.
I've bought stuff. I used to play this game called Defiance, and it was a free to play game. And like I spent so much money just on outfits. It was a third person shooter, so you could see your outfits. But also, I used to spend money on my avatar on my Xbox 360.
Yeah, I didn't do all that
Constantly. I spent $10 one time for a pet. It was one of the God, what was it? Remember that game they used to have, the Connectimals or something?
Oh, Connectimals, yeah. Let's give us the tiger.
I bought a leopard for $9.99 just so they would have a pet, and I paid like for a Raven outfit from Injustice.
Nice.
For my avatar. That was like $20.
I do not regret asking that question. Gabe, I will no longer talk shit about your one Fortnite outfit.
Yep.
Because, like, apparently they're all addicts here.
But this is like 10 years, and I've done like a few things. I mean, you know.
Well, I mean,
I used to work at a coffee shop, and I would get like a good tip day. I'd take home like $60 in tips, and I would immediately go home and be like, $60 in loot boxes. Let's go.
That's good. I respect it.
The only time I spent money on Overwatch was for the Mercy skin because the funds went to breast cancer research. Fuck loot boxes. Fuck gacha games.
Yep.
We're playing a gacha game.
You're in love. You're addicted to a gacha game right now.
Addicted to 2, and I refuse to spend money.
What
because,
2?
Final Fantasy Brave Exvius and Final Fantasy Brave Exvius War of the Visions.
Oh.
I clearly have a pattern.
Variety.
I tried that Dragon Ball one, and I got track rules, and I deleted the game.
You're gonna.
Like,
one of the reasons I don't invite people to play that Dragon Ball mobile game is because after 6 years, they still give you the original starting units in a pool. Like you get that pool where it tells you you're gonna get your SSR, but you're literally either gonna get a Gohan, a Piccolo, or a Goku. And they're like not even good units anymore. So like I don't even tell because unless you put money in like now, like to get like Dragon Stars and stuff, you're just gonna get shit units. So I never tell anyone to start playing that game.
I learned my lesson because there was $12 spent on Final Fantasy Brave Exvius that technically was not my money, and I did a pull for a brand new unit, and I got literal 0-star trash, and I was like. That was $12 that could have went to something else. I will never spend money on a gacha game ever again. If there was like a percentage where I could get something that I wanted, I would feel better about it. But a 1% chance for $12? That's like 2 meals. What the fuck?
Gotta put some more money in it, bro. $400.
Alright.
Yeah.
Still not get
Roll the slot machine again.
I can't believe you spent $400 on that game. But you know what? As long as you're still playing the game, that's all that matters.
I was in a good place. I wasn't paying bills.
Bet you wish you had the $400 now. So, Twitch support has announced that they are monitoring the rise of fake engagement on Twitch and have identified 7.5 million plus accounts that break their terms of service by follow botting and view botting. They're taking action on these accounts, and they appreciate all the reports about the issue. And that says a majority of these accounts were detected through ongoing machine learning technology that will continue to improve, and we will continue to operate going forward. We engage in our enforcement when necessary, including pursuing legal action. Crazy. As a result of these removals, you may see sudden decreases in your follower and viewer count over the coming days. So I always talk about Twitch being good and then being bad. I talk about what they should be doing, what they are doing, and what they're not doing, right? Do you guys think that this is a priority, and what do you think about legal action when it comes to removing bot following on Twitch?
Is this so? I'm not super Twitch savvy. Is this good or bad? Is bot following what you want, or do you not want it?
You don't want it.
Okay, go ahead, Kellie.
Okay.
Kellie is the Twitch expert.
Okay. So I stream on Twitch. I have been for like 5 years or something. And so follow botting, if it happens to you from an outside source, is really bad. Like, because it looks like you've got, a bunch of followers that you don't really have. You have to remove those accounts because they're fake. It's fake engagement. And I've had a couple of people that had like follow botting attacks on their channels, which can be a really big problem. It can like crash your streaming, like apps and stuff because there's so many notifications coming through. I assume it can really fuck up your stream. But people can use follow botting and view botting for fake engagement. Like, because the more viewers you have on Twitch, the higher up in the directory you go. I think it's a little bit more random now, but it used to just be like that. So it can really actually get you more engagement if you're getting more views, because people don't want to like go into a stream with no one watching. You don't want to be the only one. So if they're using bots to gain engagement, more people might come. But like, it's fake engagement. Like, it's cheating kind of. So obviously they're going to ban those accounts. But the people that I know that are view botting, they're breaking the TOS, whatever. But I have friends who get like follow botted, like attacks. And I'm like, well, they shouldn't get in trouble. That it's like someone did this to them. So I'm kind of confused by this. I did see this on Twitter, but I didn't really look into it. Like, I'm not exactly sure how they're going to do this.
The thing that concerned me the most was that they said that they have an ongoing machine learning technology that's trying to identify this. And I mean, obviously, what?
Who watches the Watchmen? It's like bots monitoring other bots.
Exactly.
Who bots the bots?
That was my biggest concern when I read this, because so obviously I am like very not Twitch savvy as well. So thank you for the explanation, Kellie. I only saw this as like, wow, this is a great opportunity to like just buy a bunch of fucking follow bots and then go to Xbox and be like, look at all my followers, send me a Xbox refrigerator, please. And then I'd go, have some legal action for lying. So I get that point of it, but like, machine learning technology is usually trash, and I just, whenever I read that, I think about how, Google has that racist thing where they identify black people and, fucking compare them to monkeys because that's what machine learning does. And so when I read something like that, yeah, it's a whole thing, you can check it out. When I read something like that, I'm like, I don't trust machine learning because, like Kellie said, who bots the bots? Like, I don't, like, what if I am, if someone does that to my stream and now I'm in trouble because someone else decided to attack my stream in that way? I also just don't trust Twitch. So I feel like they're trying, but I feel like they usually fail a lot, multiple times, and they keep failing. So I don't really have trust in Twitch at all. That's my thoughts on it. Nobody else.
For me, you hit it on the nail with I don't trust Twitch. That's hitting the nail right there, because I'm waiting for something bad to, like, obviously, it's not good to wait for something bad to happen, because it's gonna happen at the expense of someone else who, like, probably didn't deserve to, like Kellie said, if you're gonna get reprimanded for something you have no control over. But I don't trust Twitch.
So there is a tweet here in the thread that says, because someone did say, please don't go after streamers that have nothing to do with the bots. And there was a response that says, hey, we're really sorry you experienced this. We don't punish users who are victims of bot attacks, so no need to worry. In this situation, we recommend reporting a handful of the accounts through the on-site tool so they can be investigated.
Still don't trust Twitch.
Like, imagine having to report 100 accounts because someone's an asshole.
Mm-hmm. It's like more. Like, some people were getting like thousands of follows.
Oh my god, that would be so
like bad. From follow botting.
Like, you just
but I don't know.
A new account. Which,
I don't know.
Then you don't want to, because then you lose all your actual followers.
I think you can remove them. I think somebody like went through and removed like a bunch of accounts. But then some people, they had lost some actual followers just because you can't really keep track. So it's a losing proposition.
Well, no, it's a much bigger issue than I thought it was, so thanks. Like, I literally was just like, let's do this. And now I'm like,
The more you know about bots.
Let's not do that, because who wants legal action? Not us.
Action.
Oh my god, so speaking of legal action, I know this is not episode 69, but I didn't post this. But did you guys see that they removed that Bowser dildo? Because Nintendo was just like, cease and desist,
All
you
right.
will not sell Bowser's.
I need a picture.
I will totally send it to you.
I literally have not heard about this.
I saw an article. I did not open it. I think I was at work. And I was like, okay, this is something I should probably check out later, for personal reasons. And
Oh my god. You know, low-key, a part of me was just like, I would love to just work, like, as the person who just searches for random Nintendo shit to report. Like, guys, I found a
They have to go to their
Bowser!
boss and be
dude,
like, "Boss,
do you
I
know,
found a-"
I was
It's like
watching, oh my god, I just did a search, and okay, there are some things. So I actually saw, I just want to bring this up, it's kind of random. On HBO the other day, I watched this documentary on QAnon, which are like those conspiracy theory people that think Donald Trump is like the second coming or something.
God.
Anywho, it's a disaster. But this guy, he runs websites that are like clickbaity, and he tries to like make money. So he had a gay porn site called Pokeman, and in the style of Pokemon. So Nintendo paid him to have it taken down, obviously, because it was like,
Oh my
yeah.
god.
They paid him to have it taken down.
because
It's
he
too
did
close
the
to Pokemon.
logo just like Pokemon. And so, yeah, so he like made money off having a website called Pokeman. Pokemon.
That's
And
like,
they were like, that is like IQ level 1,000.
Yeah.
But
I am going to make a separate website, and we are going to put some funds into HPCritical. I will not say what the name of that website is yet.
But yeah,
Nintendo is
wasn't
gonna pay
Pokemon
me.
2.
seriously though, it was
Hold on,
really,
hold on.
really good.
hold on. Because you said in this, the Pokemon got taken down and got paid, but with the dildo they had to cease and desist. I think that's probably because Nintendo and Pokemon and the official Pokemon company are, the Pokemon company works with Nintendo,
Yeah.
but they're not the same. So that's why Pokemon's are like, pay them, delete it, where Nintendo's like, stop it.
Well,
So-
I think it also depends on how you do it, because he wasn't technically using the Pokemon name, and if he just made a logo
No,
that's not
yeah.
technically Pokemon,
I guess.
so they can't just be like, this is our
That's
property.
true.
Because if they were,
That's
I'd be like,
true.
Nintendo, y'all own gay porn? Like, what
It was
are you
just like-
doing
Close enough to where they were like, we'll pay you
to
to
take
So-
that shit down.
I have to, in relation, I have to tell you guys this. Nintendo technically owns a porno because in like the 90s, what was it? Someone did like a porn parody video of like Super Mario Brothers. It was based on the Super Mario Brothers movie, not the games, but the movie that they did in like the early 90s or whatever. They made a porno parody of that, and Nintendo, I don't know what it was. I don't think it was quite a cease and desist. They just straight up bought the rights to that movie.
And
that
then they
porno
never
movie.
showed it anywhere.
And they just never resold it
Doesn't
for
exist.
obvious reasons.
I must find it now.
First of all, Wesley,
You
I
can
have to
find images
apologize.
of it, but the actual video, like, I don't know.
I have to apologize to you. Our episodes are usually not this horny.
Oh, it is. Like I said,
Yeah,
my
what is
Dragon Ball
going on?
content-
68.8! Final chapter prologue.
We're too close. Oh god, I'm sorry for all our listeners. Everything will be okay. Just
I want to bring up one point before we leave this topic.
please.
So they paid the Pokemon guy because it looked like it, but it wasn't actual intellectual property. Does this confirm that the Bowser dildo is what Bowser
His
dick
dick
looks like?
That's what I thought. As soon as I saw that, I
So,
was like,
yeah.
"Are y'all saying that this is it?" Like, I think
Like,
it's because it looked enough like what it would look like that they were just like, But I also think it's because they were like actually using the Bowser name as well. But I don't know. It could literally be Bowser's dick, and if that's his dick, I mean, the man's packing. Whoop-de-doo, Bowser. Kelly, did you see it?
No. I
Okay,
saw
I'll
some
send it.
things on Etsy, though, that were
Yeah, that's
interesting.
no man's land. I mean, it could be anything on Etsy.
I shop on Etsy a lot, but I have never entered those words in the search before. And
It pops up on Google search. Like,
Yeah, like-
Etsy's got the SEO. Good job.
They're just so
really? That's so great.
big.
Oh, these are not. These are way different. They went more into the reptilian side. Wow.
Yeah, so it looks like that one is specifically what Bowser's Dick look like. So
Okay, send it.
I
mean,
will. I have to find it again, but I will totally.
okay,
send it.
you have to, because the ones I'm seeing, that's not real. You know,
it's not. Yeah, I get you.
it's not realistic. I mean, they're pretty, but it's not.
It's too.
You
It's
know.
not Bowser enough.
It's not, I guess. I don't know. See, I haven't seen it, so.
I'll show you. I for sure will send it.
I wish, I really do wish we would have saved these for episode 69. This
I
was a
know
good-
we're
I know.
getting too. I'm giving out too many of them, man. It's okay. I'm sure we'll find more to talk about.
We'll find something. It
So
won't be hard to find.
something else that happened recently with PlayStation is that over at Final Weapon, it says Naughty Dog says that they're struggling with multi-project development, and they wish that they were working on a new Jack and Daxter game. The reason I bring this up is because I played Jack and Daxter. I did not play Ratchet and Clank. I love Jack and Daxter, and I'm very disappointed that they're not doing that. But this creates a bigger conversation over what developers are allowed to work on versus what they want to work on. Do you guys think that, and obviously this is just your opinion, but do you think that as a business you would ask that your developers work on something that you know fans want that is going to make money, or would you like them to just, be free, create, explore, and see what happens?
Well, here's my thing. I've seen examples of both things. I've seen publishers be like, hey, you work for us, but we trust you, make what you like. And then there are some publishers where, like, we trust you, but we really want you to make this because this is what's making the money right now. That's going on a lot with Rare on Xbox right now, because everyone would love them to make new Banjo-Kazooie game or a Conquer game or whatever, but instead they're making they had to make Sea of Thieves or whatever, which, I can't say that Rare didn't want to make that. It was different, but I think it was more in line with what Microsoft was pushing, which is like, more multiplayer games. It was still that kind of like art style and whatever, and now they're making another game. This is specific to Rare, but like, just like in general, like, sometimes Rare, I feel like in the middle ground, because it's not the Banjo game that people want them to make, but it's also something that's like, Microsoft felt they could do, so they said do it. In this case, Naughty Dog, obviously if they want to make a Jack and Daxter, obviously as the news source says, but they're not really allowed to because
they're making The Last of Us remastered.
Remake or I don't know, like, I haven't played the Uncharted series, but they would probably want to do maybe like another Uncharted at some point.
Wow.
That's like, I don't know, because those are their big sellers. So, like, that's why they're, like, laser focused on these. Naughty Dog is slowly but surely becoming the Uncharted and Last of Us studio. Nothing else they did matters in Sony's eyes. And that's a problem. And Nintendo sometimes does it as well. I think Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze is an example of them letting them do what they want, because Retro wanted them to make, like, Nintendo, everyone wanted Retro to make a Metroid game, and Nintendo probably wanted them to make a Metroid game. But Retro's like, I think we got another Donkey Kong in us, let's make that. And Nintendo's like, go for it. They gave them the freedom to, and at the time people really didn't like it because they really wanted a Metroid game. Right. But now people love that Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze game, so, it kind of came back around. So I've seen examples of both. Honestly, any of the examples of both, it could go either way. If you give a developer too much freedom, they may just like make something that just people just don't want at the moment. Or sometimes they will. Sometimes they'll like, I know this makes the money, but people have really been waiting for this. It comes out, actually does well. So I don't know if it's necessarily a 100% bad thing, but I will say that if they really want to make a Jack and Daxter game, there is an audience for that. And the fact that they're not being allowed to make it, it definitely sucks.
Brandon.
Yes.
My question was, what would you do?
Yes. Thank you for reminding me. That was in relation to the topic. But what would I do?
No. Like, it was all great description, but you just never answered the question. Tell me, are you going to say, fuck these developers, make my game? Or are you going to let them reign free and possibly take your company?
I can't are you as a victim of a fan or as like Sony saying no, don't do
You
this?
are in charge of the company, Brandon. You tell me.
Okay, well, clearly as because I am now Jim Ryan, I'm telling them to make whatever the fuck I want, like the AAA games, because that's making them money. And
What? You're telling them to make whatever they want as long as it's a AAA game?
No, whatever I want. Make whatever I want.
They have to make what you want.
That's what I'm saying. Because lots of us
creative
is out here making that paper. So I need it more. I don't care about Jack and Daxter. That's not making us this money. Make less of us.
I do not regret asking you to answer that question. That was probably the best thing you've said all night. That was great. Throw that money my way.
I'm sure you like that. No, this is my money. I gotta pick it up from the floor.
He said, "Fuck you."
I can pick it.
Anyway, same question to all of you.
I guess I'd want them to make the games that I like. If I was like in charge. I mean, I don't want them to make games that are like passion projects that suck. Like, like if it's your passion, go make it in your own time, I guess, you know?
Start your own goddamn studio.
Well,
some studios do that. Okay, I'm sorry. That's an example I did forget though. That like Bungie was, making Halo games for Microsoft forever. They wanted to do something different, but Microsoft was like, no, keep making Halo. What the fuck? And then Bungie's like, all right, we're out. And that's how Destiny got created. Because they just didn't want to do Halo anymore. That's why 343 does Halo games now.
But hey, sometimes passion projects turn out really well, and then the studio's like, hey, we'd like to pay you to continue making this.
Sometimes it happens, yes.
Just make sure it's not in your contract that whatever you come up with while you work there is theirs, because that's like a thing.
So wait, you would just have them make what you feel like would succeed then, not what they want to work on.
I don't know. It just depends. Like,
it's hard.
It's kind of hard because I think that I would want to allot certain people on the games that I want, but then I would kind of want some people, like teams, to work on passion projects. Maybe you could split it. Maybe sometimes you're working on this and sometimes you're working on that.
It's the best thing ever. I go into work as a video game writer, and today Kellie's like, you're working on my game, and I've got this whole character planned out, and then the next day she's like, so yeah, you're gonna work on that other team, and now I'm like, oh my god, what fucking character was I writing for what game? And then 5 months later, I fucked them all up. And then I'm fired.
you would finish an idea first.
No, I don't work like that.
That's the unfortunate thing.
Well, then you're not working for me.
I am fired. That's why I said I'd get fired.
I said that's the unfortunate thing too, because some developers are big enough that they can make multiple projects. They can make their AAA money thing that their boss wants them to make while also making a passion project. But a lot of developers can't do that. And if you're working on a really AAA game like Naughty Dog,
PlayStation, she can do that. Oh, my next question then is: how do you split these people up? Do you give the passion project the least talented group?
Yeah, that's the other thing too, right? I mean,
well, it has to. That's the thing. It has to be their passion product, though. That's the weird thing.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. It has.
Who is working on this? Okay, all the women get to do what they want, and all the men have to work on the other bullshit.
I actually agree with that 100%.
Okay, well,
there you go. 100. The problem solved. You should just start with that. I would like to work for PlayStation.
The women are the bosses. And they boss everyone around.
I am 100% okay with this. Why? Because women are better than men and working anyway. No offense, guys.
Mm-hmm. No, you're right.
Good, yeah.
I am only stating.
I'm really joking. That would be so sexist. That would be terrible.
It's like, if I owned a company, never mind, because that would be very discriminatory. Never mind.
Go for it, Jerel. Let it out there. I don't want to be the only one who said something sexist. So
I'd
please.
just be like, It's very unprofessional to show up without tattoos, so
Without tattoos?
I'm gonna require that you get a tattoo. before you-
Required.
Wait, okay, all right,
You
hold
have
on.
no facial
hold on,
hair.
hold on.
Get the fuck
You
out.
can't
Wait, hold
work
on.
here.
What if I don't want a tattoo? Can I come in with a piercing instead?
You know, that is negotiable, but what you cannot
Or
do-
purple
all right,
hair.
As long as it's negotiable, yeah. As long as I can do if it's negotiable, we're good.
Bruh, so the other thing that I said was going to sound very discriminatory, which I'm going to say anyway, is that anyone who has straight blonde hair can't work for me. No offense, but you're gonna have to look. If my hair is unprofessional at other places, I'm only accepting what people consider as unprofessional hair at my company.
Jerel, I
No,
can't
I
help that
understand.
my hair is like
Yeah.
really fucking straight, okay?
And I can't help that my hair is curly and people don't like it and they fire me and want me to cut it. And
I
yet
love
that's my
curly
reality. So I
I
would
love
just
curly
be like,
hair.
if y'all want to work here, yeah, you know what? If you
Get a perm, bitch.
like, go firm and dye your hair, and then you could work here. Because right now that shit's unprofessional as fuck. We don't allow it. Tattoos, curly hair, and facial piercings or piercings along the body are required to be a game developer or a game writer at Sony. And then I just know that you're cool enough to work on games. In which case, then yeah, sure. But I would totally let them do a passion project. And then, why? Because, I'm sure that I would just be like, hey, Square Enix, put out another Final Fantasy game because we're gonna fail. And then they just put out Final Fantasy 17 and then they just recoup all the costs that we've just destroyed because I suck. Problem solved. Gabe, Wesley, what about you guys?
I feel like, I mean, I don't know, if I'm Sony and Neil Druckmann and the Naughty Dog team comes to me and they're like, we want to make this game, I don't think I'm going to dispute that.
I would, 100%. Sorry, Neil Druckmann, no, you're not allowed.
As far as like, I mean, any of their bigger first party, Insomniac and stuff, I feel like they can walk in and say what they want to make. And every good IP starts as a passion project, right? Like, how many IPs are factory made? Uncharted. What was the other guy that was there before Neil? Bruce Straley, maybe? Is that his name?
I don't remember.
But he wanted to make Uncharted, so they made Uncharted, and then Ratchet and Clank, same thing with what's his face at Insomniac. Like, if these developers want to make it and they're good developers, I feel like a developer working on a game they don't like, which with Sony Bend we saw what happens is they quit.
Yep.
So you definitely don't want that happening.
Yeah, but then you can also potentially get a game like Balan Wonderworld.
Oh yes.
Now that is
Which is also a passion project.
from a that's a passion project from a guy who's worked on a lot of really great games. So like that is. I'm not hating on it. I thought it was great.
Did he make it by himself? It looks like a game that maybe only he made because I don't know if anyone else is. Like, I think he could have used some helping hands with that one.
Oh my god!
All I've seen is videos of just like giant cameras when they sing. And I'm just like,
one person studio. Like, did he make this all alone because it looks like it, bro?
he thought he was going to be the next,
I would pay
Oh
all
my
the money for that game if it really was just Yuji Naka by himself making that game.
Let me say, I am not a Balan Wonderworld hater. I like that game. I don't know why people are hating on it so much. I thought it was colorful. I thought it was great. I thought it was easy. And I feel like everybody's just haters. Did I pay for it? No, because I wouldn't pay $60 for it. But I don't think the game was as bad as everybody makes it out to be. Poor Balan Wonderworld. I'm gonna go buy
You're
it.
saying I should play it.
No, I don't think you should. I don't actually. Don't endorse me. I don't want to endorse you to go spend money on that game. Don't do it. But if you get the chance to play it for free, you should play it. You know what? This is what you do. You have a baby. Let that baby get to age, 8 or 10. And then let them play Balan Wonderworld. And then you'll see why it's such a good game.
That
I
seems
would
like
love to-
a long-term investment.
Yeah, and I feel like Sony.
Like,
Six-
it's gonna
yeah,
cost
they can
you
play it
way
six.
more to have a kid.
$60, yeah.
No, I'm saying
$60
I played Super Mario 64 when I was 6. I think you can age that down 2 years down.
You're right. I would say 5 or 6 years old. That's
Everybody
The
does the
easiest
same
solution
thing,
is
doesn't
just-
it?
Okay. I think that is brilliant. And I know people are gonna disagree with me, but for all the kids that I have here, it is to me, like, baby's first Mario RPG. It's colorful, it's bright, they get to see themselves because you get to, pick what your character looks like. It's like little bright magical bullshit that gave me a headache. And and like, it's so simple because I think there's like either 2 buttons or 1 button, I don't even remember, but
2.
It's 2 buttons, right? Like, one to interact and 1 to jump.
Exactly.
That's all you need. And then you have these little outfits that give you different power-ups. So it's not like you're doing the same thing over and over. Like, this outfit's gonna let you jump, this outfit's gonna let you drill, this outfit's gonna, I don't know, do whatever. And so switching those around and playing the game, I think this game is specifically meant for children. I don't think any adult will ever have fun playing this because it's way too simple. But I also think that my niece would have like a wonderful fucking time like playing through this as her first like platformer title if she doesn't give a shit about Mario, which she doesn't. Whereas my nephew is probably gonna be like, oh, Mario, Sonic, because he's at that Mario Sonic age, but like she would totally love Balan Wonderworld, like 10 out of 10. And so that's why I kind of defend it, because I feel like I do have people in my life that are that demographic that can enjoy a 2-button really pretty platformer as like one of their first video games to play. Now, put it on her Switch Lite and give it to her, and I'll see her in 10 hours. I'll feed her in between.
You sold me.
That's how I feel about it from playing the demo.
Door.
That's how I feel about it from playing the demo, right? Like, and so when I saw people just being like, "Oh, this is trash. Why is anybody playing this?" I was like, I do think that you should kind of take into account the type of game that it is. Like, I don't think any of us should pay $60 to play that game. I still don't even think the game's worth $60, even having said all that. I would pay $40 at most to play that game. And that's at most. But yeah, that's why I defend that title. Poor guy. Like, he did his passion project and everybody's like, fuck it. It's trash! Horrible ratings! Gabe, answer the question.
Okay. So, obviously, you've never heard me talk on this podcast before. Just based off what I've said today, pretty sure you figure my answer is do what I want. Yeah. But I'm actually more in mind with, letting them split it. Like, I'd have half my team work on what I want for 6 months, then have the other team. Because obviously, okay, because, like, not to get, like, too, like, tactical with it, but obviously, my team, if there's 2 choices of doing what I want or doing the passion project, they all have a relatively quote unquote similar mind. So obviously the passion project is going to be, ow, I just caught a cramp on my foot. Hold on. Ow.
Wow. Honestly though, I was thinking while Gabe is recovering, like a lot of people start at a certain game company because maybe they already have a passion for it. Like I have always loved Call of Duty. Like if I worked for Activision, like I'd be like, fuck yeah, I'm making Call of Duty, or if you like World of Warcraft, chances are you'll probably try to get a job at Blizzard as a game developer. Like you're probably going to seek out these things anyway, so the passion project could already be what you're working on. I mean, maybe giving someone a choice is like the good move there, Just because they might already want to do your shit.
Already wants to be there, so, giving them something, they're just going to be excited anyway.
No, I think some people will.
Yeah. I don't mean everyone, sorry, yes.
Yeah. A lot of people, I mean, they're like applying there because they want to be there.
You know what? That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna be like, you guys wanna write and work for HPCritical? I've got ideas that you're gonna fulfill. Fuck everything you wanna write. Well, this is what I want you to write.
But whenever the new consoles, when we were on like new console watch, you did have like things you were suggesting to people.
Very true.
Okay.
And we do have like topics that we are like suggested to write about.
But
so.
At the end of the day,
yeah, because because we don't come on this podcast. It's not one day it's what I want to talk about, and then the other day what Kelly wants to talk about. It's always what you want to talk about.
My voice is not heard.
we all share on that channel. What are you talking about?
I know. I did that just to annoy him. Yeah, I did that just to annoy him.
On purpose because that is 100% not true. At all, except for Wesley. It is true for guests.
There's physical receipts that we all go in topics.
I mean, yeah. When have I shut down a feature idea at HPCritical? Even if I don't agree with it, there have been like 5 articles that I've been like, "You sure you want to post this shit?" Because this.
Directing that towards me.
No, actually, I'm not.
But,
I'm not. One of the biggest ones was oh my god, what was that game Kojima made?
Death Stranding.
Yeah, like one of the biggest ones was Death Stranding looks boring as fuck, and it was before it was out, and I was like, dude, are you sure? Like, are you sure you want to post this article? Because this is gonna be some mess, and it was a lot of mess in the comment section. But I thought it looked
That
great.
was a boring fucking game, though.
Oh my god! And I don't want to get into this conversation because I liked it. I didn't even finish it. I liked it. Gabe, are you recovered?
Yeah, I'm recovered. I really don't know where that foot cramp came from. But again, obviously, if it's my team and there's the option of them working on a passion project, it's because they're all in on it and they all have a relative idea of what the other person wants to do with it. So I would split it 6 months. You do what I want, which is The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2. And the other team is going to work on their passion project. They're going to work on the passion project. They're going to get, and obviously, within that team, everyone has, their own specific job. So when you're working on that project, when you're working on that passion project, while, yeah, it's going to be a little hard to get everything that, to work on your part, not having the grand scheme of things, but start building things up. So the 6 months are over and we switch, and now the people working on the passion project are working on Breath of the Wild 2, and the people that are working on that game are working on the passion project. They have, kind of a ground base to already build up on, and just have it going like that until the game's ready.
Your idea sounds like why Cyberpunk came out the way it did.
No, Cyberpunk came out the way it did because the people who didn't work on the game and said, we're releasing this game when I say we're releasing it, had control over that.
For 6 months, then you're switching, you're working on something else for 6 months, and then you're switching and you're doing what I want.
Then I'm releasing the game whenever I feel like it. Oh, it's not done? No, I'm releasing it.
I said it's done.
And now you have absolutely nothing coming out.
Somebody starts bullying Gabe on Twitter, and he's just like, fine, okay?
No, if someone bullies me on Twitter, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm like, look, I'm not releasing the game.
Yeah, but then, you have absolutely
and then you don't make any money, and then you get
fired. No, you're wrong, because guess what? There's another team working on another game.
Except for you said that those teams are switching.
But then that one's not going to be ready either.
Yeah, exactly,
Nothing's
because they're
ready.
now, being spread
okay, hold on. But see, if I'm getting bullied on
nothing's...
Twitter, it's going to be like, oh, you want this game that badly? Well, guess what? We're not going to work on it anymore. And now the other game...
He's gonna be so spiteful that nothing
other game,
nothing ever.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm gonna be beneath some random highway bridge with a cup and a cloak over me, just asking for money. It's like, how did you get to this point in your life? It's like, did you hear about the Twitter debate of 2022?
Oh my god!
Yeah, that was me. That was me. But yeah, I don't know. But if I had to choose one. I think I'd go with the passion project.
I think those are safe bets. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I think allowing.
I don't. That's why I would go with it.
And I
no,
do
well, yeah, whatever.
Okay, I do all of this. I asked you guys that, but obviously this just comes back to the gaming news of PlayStation not allowing these, allegedly not allowing these companies to create games that they want to, and forcing them to work on other things. But I love getting you guys' opinion on it. I think it's much more fun. So Resident Evil Showcase was today. I'm pretty sure you all missed it.
Sorry.
I watched it.
I watched it.
God bless you guys. I was asleep. But I know
I would have rather been asleep.
Oh no, is it? Okay, so how did you guys like it?
It was alright.
There wasn't really much going
That's all
on.
I've heard.
There just wasn't a lot.
You were happy about Mercenaries.
I just didn't. It was kind of forgettable. Like, I think they just got such a positive, feedback on the first showcase that they did. They were like, we need to do another one, but there didn't really need to be another one. I mean, I think they just wanted to keep up the hype so people don't forget that the game is coming out next month.
Yeah, 3 weeks, I think.
Oh, shit! Okay.
It was such a weird move to have this showcase. They could have just put out a new picture of Lady Dimitri or
Dimitrescu.
whatever, and then like they would have the good PR they need for the next 2 weeks. Like,
Oh my
And then
god.
they would have been
Gabe.
done. Yeah, no, literally. So
Did you see the picture of Alan Grant? on her
Yeah.
ass?
Yes, the one that Jarrell shared.
Oh, the one
and
that
then
I
Grace
posted.
No,
that
that's
Grayson
the one that
came
Grayson
and
shared.
no,
I'm gonna
it's the one
ignore
that
fact
I posted.
No, I didn't see
Yes,
it.
that's what I just
7
said. You shared
a.m.
it first,
it.
and then
And
Gray
then
did
Grayson
it
just
again.
came
He
in.
sent it when Slack automatically has notifications on snooze.
I was
He
up
sent it
'cause
at
I
like
was working.
7:51,
So
and he didn't tag me in it. So to me, Grayson sent it.
no, I posted it, and then Grayson came in and posted it like it was his, and it was mine. I posted it first. Grayson,
I laughed at his, so
you did, and you
Yes.
ignored mine, and then I was like, I'm never.
I'm
sharing
telling
anything
you,
funny
this
ever
morning I did not scroll up the messages. I got in the chat, sent that picture of Diglett and Pikachu, and just went to work.
Oh, well, I was at work and I was able to post it. So, Resident Evil
I
Village
actually take
gameplay
my work
demo.
seriously.
Resident Evil gameplay demo was revealed, right? 30-minute demo that's available now or soon?
no, a
No.
30-minute demo
Oh.
available for 8 hours on this Saturday after you make a blood sacrifice to the first month.
Yeah.
Yes.
The most
But-
ridiculous.
PS5 and PS4 people like get it early. But yeah, it's like an 8-hour window, and isn't it like at like 1 a.m. or something?
I
Oh,
think
it
it
does
starts
say-
me at like 8 p.m. at night until like
Okay.
a weird morning time. It's
So
so
I-
weird
yeah.
though.
I
And you
see
can play
here-
if you're not PlayStation, you get the full demo, which is the village and the castle, and you get 1 full hour, and you get to decide how much you spend in each demo. So you could do 30 minutes in one and 30 minutes in the other, or you could do your full hour in one and not do the other. And then yeah, if you're on PlayStation, they're splitting it up, and you get it early because.
But on PlayStation, you get to play both.
I think on
So,
PlayStation
yeah.
you get to do the big demo too.
I have to interject real quick because the way they're doing this demo sounds silly, but I have to ask this question since we had this conversation last week on the podcast. We were talking about the E3 thing about how what are they going to do differently for digital now that it's only digital. Do you think that a demo like this is almost like a test bed for what they could do with demos at like E3? Like what if during the E3 this online demo is only available from this specific time, and then like Wesley just said, 30 minutes here, 30 minutes there, or spend the full hour there. That is the best demonstration of what I think it could be that I've heard, which is weird because it's not even an E3 demo, but it sounds like it could be.
No.
No?
Like, I think... Okay, let me explain. I think, yes, it could be used for that. Do I think this is being used for that? No, not at all.
No. I'm not even saying
Yeah,
RE8
he's saying
Village. I'm saying
that's how they could.
Like it's like
Oh.
a
Yeah, but
model. A model, yes.
Yes, but no. Like, I don't see the point in making demos timed exclusive. Like, what? No. Like, even if it's for, like...
8 hours is so weird. Like, do a week or something. Like, if I'm sleeping, I'm gonna miss it.
Yeah, even if it's like an E3 thing where they're like, hey, you just watch this, play the demo now, or like, it's available later today to play the demo, why would you time it? Like, if you're gonna time it, just don't play
I
the
could
fucking
only
demo.
I could only see them timing it is if it's like something that's like a really early build. Otherwise, I don't see the
put a
point.
demo out. I don't
Yeah, but the
understand.
thing is, but the thing is, press still needs to get like hands-on with these games. That was like the whole point of
Then
like physical
send
E3s.
a
at the time.
specific demo to press sites that request it.
That would be the best way. I'm just wondering if that's the most efficient way. But
It doesn't make sense to me.
I don't know why they did both. Like, make it available for 8 hours and you can play the whole time, or make it available for an hour over a longer period. Why both?
Well, it sounds like the
Like-
PlayStation one is the better deal, no? Because you get 2 specific times to play both for a longer period of time instead of splitting them between 1 hour. Okay, so
it's
I
just the
have here.
nature of it. Yeah.
I have here that there are 30-minute demos for Village, April 17th from 5 p.m. to April 18th, 1 a.m., and then for Castle for April 24th, 5 p.m. to April 25th, 1 a.m. Well, first of all, who the fuck is going to be awake until 1 a.m. playing Resident Evil? Not me.
Yeah, you'd be surprised.
But, you know what? You're right. I'm sure people play at night. I don't even play because I'm too scared. Wesley, I saw that you were playing 7. I literally got to
very
the
scary.
point where the guy is just chasing me down the hall, and I've turned it off and I've never picked it back up. I refuse. It's far too scary for me. The last thing I'm gonna do is play Resident Evil at 1 a.m. Then there's a 60-minute demo for PlayStation, like you said, PlayStation 5, PS4. May 1st, 5 p.m. to May 2nd, 5 p.m. with Village and Castle. The first demo period, available exclusively on PlayStation 5 and 4, allows you to check out Village for 30 minutes. The second demo, for just 30 minutes? The second
The early access PS
I
demos are 30 minutes only.
All right, I just wanted to get that out there so like people knew the times and what was happening. But yeah, continue. Sorry, Brandon, if you guys wanted to answer his question, or Kellie wanted to finish what she was saying, this is.
No. Like honestly, yeah, no, I don't really have too much more to add about it. It's just, it's just compared to like, you're right, Jerel. Like there's better ways to do like a demo like this. I'm just saying that compared to like the nothing we knew about the whole E3 talk, like this seems like at least a possibility that. I don't know.
I agree. I think it could very well be a decent way to, like, if you wanted hands-on for people, yeah, like give them a timed demo. I just don't believe in timed demos because why?
Yeah.
Well, people's play styles are so different. Like, I take my time going through a game like this. Like, I could probably play what someone can play in 30 minutes. I could probably do that for 3 hours, but then they don't want you to get the full game. I mean, it's coming out in a few weeks. They just want you to be teased enough to where you want more.
And that I understand. Like, I completely get not wanting people to get spoiled, right? So you only allow them 30 minutes. But then, do something like what Danganronpa 3 does, right? Or any Danganronpa demo does. Like, you play through the game, but everything that happens in the demo is nothing at all that what happens as to what happens in the game.
I hope that's what it's like. I don't want to play the story as a demo and then wait weeks to play the actual game.
But I mean, a lot of games do that though, right? Like, and they let you carry your progress over, but they warn you that like you're playing.
Outriders did that, yeah.
They warn you though that you're playing the actual game.
You know what I wish? I wish more companies would do demos, kind of like how Square does. I'm specifically talking about what they did with Octopath Traveler and Triangle Strategy, where Octopath Traveler and Triangle Strategy, those demos didn't come out like a year before, but they were early ass builds. They had problems, but you could do the feedback, and then you could make the game better, and it usually is.
I'm about to say something that I probably am gonna regret, but I think that the demographic that is playing Octopath Traveler and Project Triangle Strategy is a very specific Nintendo demographic that is capable of not bombarding developers with what they need to do about their game, but filling out a survey and providing positive feedback. I will say
surveys mitigate that, because they can literally, if they have a problem with the demo they played, write it in and tell them that they want this fixed.
I completely agree. I do not know that people that are going to play a first-person shooter or people that are going to play Resident Evil are going to feel the same way, because we have seen death threats.
About writing a survey, sure, fair.
We've seen death threats to developers over much less, and if you allow people the opportunity to affect your game too much, it can cause issues.
I mean, I'm not going to send a death threat, but Capcom's getting a letter if my lady is not in that demo. That's all I'm saying.
This is Gabe and Wesley are of one accord. They're both going to be like, "Where's Lady Dimitrescu? What are you doing?"
Where you're watching her answer the phone, and then she stands up.
Yeah.
If I don't do that in the game,
if I don't get the cutscene where she licks his hand,
and then she's sorry, that scene was so much.
I need to see her lick his hand, and I need to see her throw that desk around so I can picture myself being that desk. If it's not in that demo, going to jail that day.
What?
While we're here,
storm Capcom offices.
Lady D is cool, but after playing the Maiden demo, I feel like the blonde one that turns into
yeah, I've seen some.
To me though,
love for her.
To me, it's her height. I don't know what it is, but Lady D, it's just her height, and it's every time I see a trailer, I'm like, bro, my neck is right here. Step.
17 size 17 shoe, I believe.
Something like that. Yeah, I think it's as big as Shaq's.
Yeah,
we don't know her dimensions.
I had to cover a story about it. That's it.
That would be actually a small foot if she's supposed to be 9 feet tall.
I think
that would be a pretty small foot. like
I'm gonna look
then.
it up. Rest in peace to my Google.
Your Google search in the middle of this podcast has been very.
Your
sporadic.
wife is gonna have questions, Wesley.
what are they talking about? Over there?
17. Okay, so her shoe size is 17.3 inches, but I don't know if
Oh,
it's inches, right? That translates directly. So size 17.
That's actually a big.
is it inches though? Because I wear a size 7 and my foot. I don't know. Is my foot only 7 inches long?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if the number of shoes like goes to inches, but
17 inches is pretty big.
I think so.
Bowser said so.
Not that.
Pastor said so.
I'm so disgusted. But that was pretty funny. Good job, me. Anyway, okay, yeah.
Congratulating himself.
I thought that was pretty funny. Come on, get it? Because we were talking about the Bowser dildo. 17.
Wasn't funny simply because you said it wasn't funny.
I thought it was pretty funny. Anyway, so they also announced the mercenaries mode coming to Resident Evil Village. What is that? I didn't watch. What's that?
Mercenaries mode. It's a mode that's made the rounds in Resident Evil games. It's basically, no story really. Just take all these fan favorite characters from Resident Evil and just go balls to the wall with all these. Yeah, a lot of people love Mercenaries. There was a 3DS Resident Evil game that was literally just Mercenaries. So people do love that mode to just fight zombies without having to worry about story. Just shoot shit.
Yeah, that would be fun. They also announced Dead by Daylight crossover because every scary game ever is in Dead by Daylight. So there's going to be a Resident Evil Dead by Daylight crossover. Cool. Infinite Darkness trailer. There was a new Resident Evil Infinite Darkness trailer showcasing more of what fans can expect from the CGI animation series coming to Netflix later this year. And finally, Resident Evil 4 on Oculus Quest 2, which, why would anyone do that to themselves? I guess y'all just like scary shit.
They must. They must.
Did any of that stand out to you guys? Or that watched it?
I saw the series, but I guess I have just never. I'm newish to Resident Evil. I've only played my first one 2 years ago. It's like Mercenary is something people really like. I totally passed it in 2? Is it in 2?
I guess so.
Everyone's hyping it up, and I'm like, I don't know. Not why I played
I'm not really familiar with it.
I liken it to Last of Us PvP that people loved. So I guess.
Game had a PvP?
Yeah, and apparently it was really good. People just like killing each other with their favorite characters. So, look at Fortnite. Give them their favorite Resident Evil characters and let them go gung-ho. And they're going to be like, oh my god, yes! They're going to love it so much that they're going to spend their own real money on customization to get the right outfit for that character from the original game.
If Lady Dimitrescu is in Fortnite, I will drop more money for that battle pass.
Oh my god!
100%.
Isn't that, isn't that unfair, though? Because she's really tall.
9 foot tall.
Oh, she's 9 feet tall?
Well, they scaled down the size.
9 feet tall, I thought.
But if she's not tall, it's just really Dimitrescu, though.
Yeah, it's not even her. If she can't be 9 feet, it's not even her.
But Master Chief's supposed to be 7 foot.
Yeah, Master Chief is 7 feet. Kratos is 8 foot tall.
But no one is fawning over them in the same way.
Exactly, Dimitrescu.
I don't know when Kratos was coming out in his God of War games,
he was hot. They should do what Pokemon. They should do what Pokemon does, right? Do them semi their actual size, right?
Pokemon doesn't even do it semi their actual size because
no.
I'm sorry, but when I throw out a fucking Groudon, that's fine. But when they throw out a fucking Groudon and he's over here standing at 9 feet tall in the game when he's supposed to be I think 700 feet tall.
Groudon's
okay, well, you can't make him 700 feet tall, bro. You can't do it.
Yes, you can.
You can't do it.
I want him to be thrown out and just the camera zooms out and the trainers and the other Pokemon are just little small dogs.
Leave it zoomed in and just have a foot. All right, that's all you get. That's all you can see within the frame. That's what you get. 1 foot.
I'll deal with that.
It's real size.
I am going to run through the rest of this really quick because we are going on pretty long. And I'm not even going to talk to you guys about all of it. Days Gone coming to PC.
Cool.
Do you guys think we should have more PlayStation titles coming to PC? Yes or no? Exclusive. Yes. Yes is for everybody. Yes. I completely agree. Ubisoft has announced their Ubi Forward Part of E3 2021.
No, that's pretty much what we expected. Ubi's gonna do their thing as an Ubi Forward.
Yes,
Makes
June
sense.
12 p.m. PT. Make sure you won't miss it. We're going to be talking
Skull
about it
and
here.
bones. Skull and bones.
Bruh, you know, I have been literally waiting
Oh yeah,
for...
Skull and Bones! Oh my
I've been
god.
waiting for Skull and Bones and that one with the pig. What is the name of that game?
Beyond Good and Evil 2.
Jade. Thank you. Beyond Good and Evil 2. I have been waiting for those two from them for forever, and I've just decided that they don't care about me, and they will continue to ignore both of those titles, which is crazy because that game was, we were getting like developer updates as they were making the game, and then they just went completely silent, like gone forever. It's like that other game from Square Enix that I was obsessed with, and it's also gone, and I can't remember the name of it, and I'm pretty sure none of
I know what you're talking about, but I also can't remember the name.
It's like, oh my god.
Final Fantasy 13 Versus.
No! Oh my god.
Oh yeah, that game just never came out ever.
I can't remember. I know Christy knows what I'm talking about, though. I have to ask her.
Yeah.
What else was I gonna say? Oh, The Last of Us HBO series has cast Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. alumni Gabriel Luna as Tommy Miller, Joel's younger brother. How much was Tommy in the original?
A good amount. He's probably in the beginning, and then he had a big part in the middle.
The water dam, yeah.
Honestly, fuck
Yeah,
the
yeah.
I literally hate a lot of Last of Us characters. I'm apparently seeing. I will not go on that rant. Fuck Tommy. He's so stupid. Like he had okay.
We talked about this.
Move on. We got
it. So, Capcom says that COVID-19 made their company vulnerable to ransomware attacks. That's over from Kotaku. And wait, hold on. Where is it? It says Capcom has officially closed the investigation into the ransomware attack against its servers from late last year, concluding that the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic, what else, had a hand in the security breach. Their explanation basically said, according to its IT specialist, unauthorized access to the company's internal network was acquired in October 2020 through a cyber attack carried out on an older backup VPN. Blah, 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 blah. We're going to skip a little bit of this. One of the aforementioned older VPN devices remained solely at a North American subsidiary as an emergency backup in case of communication issues, and it became the target of the attack. The device in question has already been removed from the network at this time. That's so crazy. Like, imagine just leaving one for emergencies only VPN, and then someone's like, hacking time! Like, what's this?
I'm gonna
epically pwn you.
Yes. Great opportunity, guys. I'm so sad I didn't do it myself, but thank you for dropping in there. And the last thing that I was going to talk about today, before Brandon gives us a quick rundown of everything that's happening on the HPCritical stream, is the historically inspired Netflix anime Yasuke, I hope I'm saying that right, fills out its cast with the new Japanese trailer. And this is very important because, as you guys may or may not know, this anime is all about the black samurai warrior, the historical black samurai warrior, inspired by an African man who served under the Oda Nobunaga. Wow.
Nobunaga.
Horrible, thank you. In the 1500s. They had a brand new trailer today for Japanese audiences, and they revealed the Japanese cast for the series, which includes the half-black, half-Japanese actor Jun Seojima in his first anime role as the titular character. So I was very happy that, because, people were like, how are you going to get... A lot of times these anime are not, like, their characters that are not white are usually just voiced by Japanese actors. So it was really cool that they went out of their way to get a half-black, half-Japanese actor to be in that role. So I definitely wanted to give them a quick shout out for that. And I don't have anything else. Does anything else happen that you guys wanted to talk about before we move on?
Yes, I want to talk about that news story because I have to talk about this. That they announced that in the fighting game Power Rangers Battle for the Grid,
I forgot.
Yeah, Ryu and Chun-Li are being added as characters in freaking Power Ranger outfits, and I'm so freaking hyped about that. For those who don't know, who haven't played Battle of the Grid, it's a very competent fighting game. It doesn't look the greatest because it's not a very expensive made game, but the fighting mechanics itself are surprisingly solid. They've added a lot of content since then, both other Rangers from other seasons and villains, even comic book stuff. But yeah, this is the first time that they've like crossed over with like another franchise with Ryu and Chun-Li. They've done it like there's a comic book crossover, and they even had them in the mobile game. But they're both here in a fighting game that I actually want to play because I don't like the mobile Power Rangers game.
Literally,
for me.
all I thought was they are literally throwing them into everything.
Ryu at this point has pretty much fought everybody with all the
Chun-Li's
crossover
right
he's
behind
been.
So,
Chun-Li's right behind him. Yeah,
they're
both
throwing them
Ryu
into
and Chun-Li are honestly. But I love that they're getting like actual like Power Ranger outfits. And after digging about it, their moveset apparently even comes from their comic where it was a mix of like Power Ranger moves and like their actual Street Fighter moves too. And I'm like, I didn't either until I looked into it. I was like, this is so sick. They're putting so much detail into this. This is not, they didn't just throw Ryu and Chun-Li and call it a day. They actually put the work in to make them also fit with the Power Ranger universe. And their costumes look sick. I still love Power Rangers. The plots of Power Rangers are campy as hell. I can't recommend it, but I'm a sucker. You show me cool costumes, fighting monsters and giant robots. That's really all you need from me. I'm a simple man.
They gave them like Power Ranger names too, didn't they?
The Crimson Hawk Ranger and the Blue Phoenix Ranger.
I mean, you have to, right? If you're getting the licensing to have them in your game, you have to go all out. You got to do it right. And from what I've seen, it looks really awesome.
It does look cool. I can't wait. I will probably be streaming it into next month. If no one has anything to say, I can segue right into the stream stuff.
I have no other topics.
Cool. Yeah, so no, the only reason I'm talking about the stream stuff real quick for HPCritical, twitch.tv/HPCritical, where we stream, is because it's been a pretty eventful week on our Twitch channel. We finished 2 games this week, both of them being Mario. Myself, Jerel, Gabe, and Christy completed Super Mario 3D World. It took us three different stream attempts to finish the Champions Road level in 3D World, but we finally got through it. We're very happy about that. If you missed it, you can check the highlights on our YouTube as well, which is HPCritical. Myself and Chris are going to be starting Ace Attorney this Friday, so if you're watching this, it probably is already happening. If not, you can catch the VOD of it, but it's going to be pretty much every Friday if you want to catch Ace Attorney. And then more playthroughs are coming. Bowser's Fury is coming next week. You can still catch that if you're watching this when it comes out, and Captain Toad starting in May. And that's pretty much it. A lot more stuff coming. We'll talk about it as the weeks go by. But yeah, stay tuned. That's all.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot to mention, I also finished Super Mario Galaxy this week. That was the second game we finished this week. So Galaxy and 3D World, those are the 2 games. I'm done.
Maybe at some point we will play Outriders again. But who knows? Who knows?
I'm literally going to the Best Buy tomorrow, so
Did you say Fall Guys?
What? No, I said I'm going to Best Buy tomorrow to pick up some stuff. So
I thought Wesley said Fall Guys. My bad.
Oh no, I said shout out to Outriders because I like that game, but I haven't gotten to play it as much as I want.
Same
Here.
Like when we did play for like 10 minutes, we enjoyed what we played, and then that was it. I wish that there was more time to play.
I haven't finished the demo, but I played enough that I'm literally going because I'm going out tomorrow. I'm going to be going to get it.
Yeah, and I forgot what I was going to say. But with that, we're running over a little bit, so thank you, Wesley, for joining us. Where can people contact you if they'd like to, if you're into that?
Twitter would be the best place, and it is at LeBlanc West, so at LeBlancWes. That's basically the hub of everything I do. I spend way too much time on Twitter. I looked at my iPhone's records of how much time I spent on Twitter the past week, and I was really sad. But the discourse calls.
Exactly.
And yeah, that's where all my writing is, all my podcast ventures and YouTube stuff, and everything can be found there.
Yeah, I looked at mine because it showed me a report for what I've been. Oh, don't do that. It showed me a report for what I've been doing, and it usually is Twitter and Facebook Messenger that are at the top. But recently, it's been taken over by Final Fantasy Brave Exvius War of the Vision. So
yeah,
I am clearly.
It's
I
coming
wake
up
up in the morning and I go straight to that game, and I'm like, I have a problem. But anyway, yes, you can find him at LeBlanc West. LeBlanc or LeBlanc?
I don't. I usually just say LeBlanc because, if I have to make the C silent and then my dad says to do it very French and he wants me to be all Wesley
Leblanc.
Exactly.
I love it!
Dude,
You have to. You gotta get people to say your name right. I love it. Names are important. Don't let them say it wrong.
Yeah.
You gotta always correct them. So correct me. So that I can
Leblanc.
Thank
Leblanc.
you. First of all, that's super sexy.
Thank you.
Okay, actually, I will not tell that story on the podcast, but
Support us on Patreon for our post show, which doesn't exist yet, but it will one day.
The post show,
That's
I'll
actually a
tell
good
you
idea.
all about my name in
That-
French and what it reminds me of. And that time that I was at a convention and things happened. If you want to hear about that, you won't ever. And with that...
Because the post show doesn't exist yet. Support us and make it happen.
And with that, thank you, Wesley, so much for joining us. It's been a hilariously wonderful time. Thank you, as usual, Kellie, Gabe, and Brandon. You guys are always awesome. And we'll see you next week. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Let's go! HP Critical!